my gosh. Hello everyone. Oh, take a look. This is me at 22. The last few hours of being 22. Sure if you need. But no, seriously, it is my last day of being 22 years old, and I was just wondering if I am looking older. Just kidding, I'll look older tomorrow. Yeah, today is my birthday eve and it's just now hitting me, starting right now. I was driving home just now and it wasn't really feeling like my birthday to get cramps and everything. So I think that's why it's not really feeling like my birthday. Like, it's not very ovulation vibes, but we're still powering through and having a great time. I meant to start this vlog earlier, just got done with therapy, debating whether to actually vlog my birthday eve because there's a lot of rituals, I would say, that I do on my birthday. However, again, not really feeling up to it tonight right now, or later, so maybe I'll do it tonight after class. I wanted to intro this video. I just got back from therapy and then I was listening to Noah Kahan's Stick Season Forever, which is the best album. I think it's actually my favorite album of like all time, really. Like, every time I listen to this album, it speaks to me. Like, I think every single song I can relate to. I just love how he expresses everything and like it's exactly how I feel. Yeah, it was making me emotional because it was what song was on? You're Gonna Go Far, which is one of my favorites on this album. I'm crying to that because I'm like, needed that. I feel like lately when I hit another number, I feel a little bit, what am I supposed to be doing right now? Like, what? I think there's always like a little bit of a weird feeling about you could always be doing more, and I feel like I've been feeling like that. I won't get into much detail, but which I am doing a lot, I think, which is like the funniest part. Always busy, especially I'm turning 23 tomorrow. I'm 22, and I think that is also like an older feeling number. Like, you should have things figured out maybe by now, and who does? Literally, who does? Even like the most successful 23-year-old probably is still not feeling that way, or like thinking they could do more, or if not that, act different, be different, whatever it is. But I was actually looking up things like albums that were created at 23. So like important albums, famous albums, I guess, were significant and were created by musicians and artists that were 23 at the time, which was funny to look at. The Fame by Lady Gaga was created at 23, which is so funny because I've been on that kick lately. Like, that's been my go-to album of lately. So good. Amy Winehouse's Frank, which is really cool. Katy Perry's Teenage Dream. And Taylor Swift, it was dropped right before she was 23. Obviously has the song 22 on it, but it was still technically around her 23. Joni Mitchell, Song to a Seagull, it came out when she was 23, so technically she probably worked on it mostly at 22. That's really cool, very fun to look at, and not that that matters because I just think everyone is on their own life path. The beauty of it all, really. Yeah, I was telling my sister, I think yesterday, that period, like, it always is the at least month before / week before / few days, day before your birthday. It's in a nostalgic period. It's like a waiting room almost. Like, you're just waiting, like, you know, these are your last few moments of being that age and you'll never be it again, and then the next year you'll be like an even bigger age. I don't mind. I really love birthdays, so it's really fun for me. Get in my head because it's like, it's such a weird feeling. I'm already such a nostalgic person that this doesn't help my case. Yeah, tonight I think I'm gonna ritual it up a bit, get some good luck. I've always journaled the day before my birthday. My mom used to tell me it all the time, like, journal what you're feeling at the last day of being this age, and journal your feelings and whatever about this age. And actually that's funny because I was texting my mom this morning, love you, last day at 22. I said, I know, right, eek. And she said 23, great age too. And then she said Carrie Bradshaw. And I was like, I actually think Sin the City was filmed technically like when they were supposed to be like late 20s, I believe. That's true, it's a very Carrie Bradshaw age. I wonder what she would be doing in like at 23 and working as a receptionist. What I'm doing. That's pretty much my job. It made me feel a lot better because I was like, honestly, that's probably, it gave me a lot of comfort, I would say. Like, yes, Carrie Bradshaw probably would be working at a job doing, and then like while doing other things that she's working for creatively and all of that. Anyway, this diary-esque. It's kind of fun to think about these things, especially on your birthday, and reflect and make peace with what you're doing, where you are, and everything. I don't know, I'm just feeling a little bit excited. I've always loved birthdays, but it's also one of those feelings of like, yes, you're celebrated for 24 hours and maybe a little bit more or less, and like, you know, next day is going to be different. Like, I don't know why I've always thought about it like that, which is like a good thing. That's just how birthdays are. It's not that deep. It's that deep, but it's also not that deep. See it both ways, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Happy Taurus season, and welcome to my pre-birthday vlog. And then I think I'm gonna put out like a separate vlog unless this is in my birthday vlog. Therapy, it was really nice. I'm gonna go journal about it. I'm trying to use my journal more so than like turning to my notes app, which is funny, but I'm trying to get in the habit of like writing in my journal. I'm going to chill out for a little bit, and then I have a class tonight that I have to go to at 6. I really don't want to go to. I'll talk to you guys when I do something. I wrote all of my notes that I can think of right now. I think this is pretty much a lot of it. I actually really liked my session today, if you will. I also feel like my camera's dirty right now. Like, this session was really well needed, and I felt like I really remembered it. So some of the things though that we were talking about, not to get too personal, but I wrote down, let go of the way others perceive you, then you are free. That's kind of what we talked about. A lot of it is like, you absolutely cannot control how others see you, even if it's like frustrating. It is something you can't control, and that really already has stuck with me. I've been feeling like this part of me that really wants to hone in on expression, this word of expression. Hitting home lately, like, I feel like I just really want to hone in on that and like lean into expressing myself in every way, even just talking. My style, like, things aren't resonating anymore. You're actually talking about it in an entire different way. I was talking about this thing and she said this: the next step of like confidence is expression, and when you work on confidence, like, you can talk to people, and like a lot of the time, especially ADHD problems, you can have this thing where it's like, once you get good at that, you kind of feel it at another stuck crossroad, I guess, of expression, and like you're not fully communicating it all the way. It really resonated with me because I couldn't, like, I felt like a breakthrough of like, that's kind of, it was just well translated, I think, to her, and she really put it into words for me. Right now at 22, about to be 23, I'm craving expression and myself, so I'm excited to see where that takes me this year. They vlog, I guess, getting into it, which I do want to talk about. Maybe I'll talk about it in this video, like what I wanted to do at 23. It was a really cool start because it felt very transformative. Maybe that's my word of 23. I don't remember my word of 22 actually. I should go back and watch my vlog, but that's how I'm feeling. Nice teeth. Yeah, those are some of my notes from therapy. Oh my gosh, I already forgot I had my tea. I just made a tea in my Taurus mug. So cute. I had to, of course. I have my journal, and this is pretty much what I do actually every birthday. I've done it forever, but I journal everything. I'm really not in the mood. I usually will do a little bit, and then I'll do specifically how I'm feeling, what I'm doing at the age I am. Throughout the week even, I'll do what I'm trying to bring in, trying to reflect of what I want for this next year. It's kind of what I do for New Year's too, but I feel like it's a little bit more personal when it's your birthday. Some journal prompts, and I'll put them on the screen, but that's what I'm gonna do right now. I also, before I start to do that and put them on the screen, I'm going to a psychic tomorrow, which I actually did last year. So technically it's like a new birthday tradition almost. I've been doing this. Last year it was more of a tarot reading. It was, you signed up for a psychic reading and it ended up being tarot. Now, me, my sister, and my mom are going tomorrow, but just my mom and I are getting one. I have some questions I brainstormed just in case I to ask questions or anything, because I've never been to this one. Here are some I thought I'd share. I don't know, it's kind of fun. And then tomorrow in my vlog, you see the actual everything about it, like what I do. So stick around for that. Have I met my soulmate or life partner? When will I? I think that's a valid question because I'm single. I'm turning 23, still single. And this year actually I've branched out a lot and stuff and gone to dates on my first date in my like adult life really. One time a few years ago, but I don't really count it because I kind of knew the person, not like this year I fully went on 2 dates now, which is a lot for me. That two dates actually within the span of a few months, which is hard to come by, might I say. I'm single and I'm curious. This year I feel like I've really stepped out of my comfort zone with that, even just talking to people. Will I get married and / when? Will I do something in music for my career? How many kids will I have? It's kind of fun. My mom actually went to a psychic once, and I guess they told her like that she would marry someone that she's always known, and at the time she didn't know my dad, but she ended up knowing him throughout her whole life from like high school and everything. I just think that's really interesting. How many kids will I have? How will I meet my soulmate or person I marry? Will I move out soon? I won't ask like these are like 20 questions. However, I do think it's kind of fun just to put questions of like predicting your future in a way, so I just kind of kept going. Is there anything blocking me from receiving love and those things like career and moving out and all these things? Because I do feel like 22 was a little bit like, again, I've done a lot and I feel like the last year was really good and like 21 was better too, like doing all these things. However, I feel like it's also slowly getting there, like it's gradually built up and like I've gradually become, of course, the person I am now. Like I feel like that's just how it works. However, I do see these people, I see people all around me where it just happens like all at once, and you get a boyfriend, you get this, and I don't know, it just happens quickly, and I feel like I've been very stagnant in that realm, which however I do think that's purposeful, of like you, like the universe telling you to like be with yourself, dive in deep with yourself, which I completely like can see that. Like I think if I were to be in a relationship or doing crazy things right now, or like the past few years in my early 20s, I think it would be so different, and I wouldn't have become this version of myself of like knowing who I am in ways and those things. What lesson am I supposed to be learning right now? How can I turn my creativity and things I'm passionate about into my full-time job? Like right now I love silly videos and I love posting online and I love doing our podcast. I have podcasts and stuff for that, and we're really trying to work on that right now, working hard behind the scenes. But I do have a real job, or not real job, I do have like a regular office job. It kind of feels like Hannah Montana life. Like I'm definitely just trying to build things outside of that, and while in school, do a good job balancing that. But I always wonder what I could be doing more, and how that will play out, I guess. What is my soul's purpose? What are some of my creative gifts that I'm being called to go after? What are some of my past life themes? I wonder, sometimes that could be a thing of like your past life making this life way different and like experiencing a new level up. And I fully believe that. Like even like Taurus signs and like your zodiac sign can mean different thing, and I know like rising signs specifically, you're supposed to become your rising sign in your life. You're not actually your sun sign, which my rising sign is Aquarius, which makes sense with all these creative passions of mine, because Aquariuses are very expressive and futuristic and creative in that way, and I do think I'm gradually becoming that. Does the next year look like for me? What does my future me want me to know? And what are any times of my life that could be significant or will be significant? I was just saying, like, I feel like there's certain times where stuff, so like even when people get married, I guess that could be something like that's a whole chapter of like a year or two worth even of engagement, and the process of getting married and all of that, moving in with someone or whatever it is. For my psychic questions, I'm really excited going to be like. Very excited. I think it's gonna be so fun, and I do think it's like very spiritual. Like I think birthdays in general, I've always seen birthdays as something spiritual, and I think that's why I've always loved birthdays so much. My beliefs, I just think the time you were born, the day, the year, everything about it, like what decade of your life you were born into means something. I just think that way, and I think you choose it in wherever we come from. I think it is more intentional than not intentional. I don't know. Maybe this is like too deep, but these are things that I love talking about or think about a lot. It's not really talk about out loud, so maybe whoever is listening to this can take anything from that because or resonate. It's just how I think, and I am a deeply spiritual person inside. Okay, blank state. This is my journal before. I won't show it to you after. I should light an incense. I forgot to do that, but I also don't know where a lighter is. There's a lighter else. Let's light an incense. I don't want to move my camera, so I'm going to do it right here, but I also don't think I can show like a lighter on here, so intentionally burning for the night before my birthday to bring in good, positive vibes all day tomorrow. Oh, can't show that. It's lit. Put overnight curls in my hair. However, I'm so glad I did that. That felt really good. My phone's about to die. But again, tomorrow is going to be such a fun day. It's already 11 and I meant to go to sleep way earlier. But it's going to be a really fun day. It'll be such a fun day, and I'm really excited for the psychic reading. And we're going bowling at night, which I'm really excited about, to have like bowling food. It's just gonna be really like chill and a vibe with my family. I'm so grateful. I'm so curious to what is going to change this year. Definitely feeling good about it, I would say. I'm gonna end this vlog here, and then I'm gonna do a separate vlog, I believe, for my actual birthday. So if you're curious about my psychic reading, make sure you are subscribed, and catch me on my next video. And it's going to be so much fun to hear what they say and just hang out all day and celebrate. So even if it's not your birthday or birth month, nowhere near, maybe this is a reminder to reflect, to celebrate life a little bit more, because I feel like birthdays are a good reminder of that, just that of like, actually I'm alive and that is worth celebrating. If you are 23 yet, let me know what you remember from being 23 / if you are 23, what you're doing, what's happening. I will see you guys for my 23rd birthday. That feels quite scary to say. We're grown, but so young at the same time. We're happy, free, confused, and lonely at the same time. Yeah, okay. Love you so much. Bye!